Hello students and welcome to class today. Today we are going to deal with operation on matrices. So here we are going to see how do we add, how do we subtract, or how do we multiply the matrices. So how do we manipulate matrices? That is our point of discussion today. In our previous introductory session that we had, we talked about the types of matrices. But first of all, we said a matrix, it is normally defined by the number of rows and the number of columns it has. So if we have a matrix A, B, C, and D like that, we are going to have the number of rows which are actually running horizontal. So we have got row 1 and row 2, and we have got the columns here. So we have column 1 and we have column 2. So for you to be able to know the order of the matrix, you start by counting the rows. Here we have row 1 and row 2. So this is a 2 by, you count the columns 1, 2. So this is a 2 by 2 matrix. So the number of rows, are normally denoted by M, and the number of columns are normally denoted by N. So the order of a matrix, any order of any matrix is normally given by M, the number of rows times the number of columns, and not the other way. It should always be the rows first times the number of columns second. So this is a 2 by 2 matrix. And whatever we have here now, A, B, C, and D are what we call elements of that particular matrix, or what make up that matrix. And these elements, they should always be enclosed in a bracket. So as far as operations of matrices is concerned, we are going to talk about the addition and subtraction of matrices. So matrix is one, matrices is actually plural. So as far as addition and subtraction is concerned, two matrices can be added or subtracted if and only if they are of the same order. We cannot we cannot subtract matrices which are not of the same order. So if it is a 2 by 2 matrix, it can only be added or subtracted by a 2 by 2 matrix. So if we have, for example, 2, 2, 4, 8, 6 plus 3, negative 2, 0, 4, this one is possible. This one is possible because this is a 2 by 2 and this is a 2 by 2. But if we have 3, 4, 1, 8, 3, 0, and then you are adding 2, 3, 2, 6, 9, this is not possible because they are not of the same order. This is a 2 by 3, whereas this is a 2 by 2. Because they are not of the same order, we cannot add or subtract them. So I want you to note that from the onset. So can we do some examples on the same? So you can be asked this: if matrix A, which should always be in capital, is given by 3, 4, 3, 9, and B is equals to 2, 4, 7, negative 2. Now you are asked, find A plus B. Find A plus B. It is the same as 3, 4, 3, 9, that is A, plus B, which is 2, 4, 7, negative 2. As far as addition is concerned, elements that occupy the same position are normally added or subtracted. So like for example, this element here, it is in the row 1, column 1. So it should be added with the element which is in row 1, column 1. So we normally add the two that are corresponding. So this is the same as 3 plus 2. Then you come 4 corresponds to this 4. So you add them, 4 plus 4. You come here, 3 corresponds to 7, so we are going to have 3 plus 7, and 9 corresponds to negative 2, so it's going to be 9 plus negative 2, like that. So our final answer should be 5 here, this is 8, this is 10, this is the same as 9 minus 2, which is 7. So this is actually the answer for A plus B, like that. The same case is normally done when we have subtraction. Now you can be told if x is equals to 9, negative 3, negative 4, 0, and y is equals to negative 1, 4, 0, negative 5. Now you are asked, find x minus y. What you need to do is this. You just rearrange them again as we did. Come here and say a, or x, it is 9, negative 3, negative 4, 0. Then we minus y, which is negative 1, 4, 0, negative 5. If you minus the 2, it's going to be 9 minus negative 1, negative 3 minus 4, negative 4 minus 0, 0 minus negative 5. You will find that it is the same as 9 plus 1, which is actually 10. This is negative 3 minus 4 is negative 7. This is the same as negative 4 minus 0, which will remain to be negative 4. 0 minus minus 5 is the same as 0 plus 5, which is actually 5. And actually that is the solution. So adding and subtracting matrices, first they must be of the same order. If they are of the same order, then you add or subtract the corresponding elements. You add and minus the corresponding elements for you to get the answer. Let us go to multiplication. Multiplication of matrices. Number one, we shall talk about multiplying a matrix by a constant. You can be told, given that A, matrix A is given by 2, 4, 3, 0. Now you are asked, find 5A. If you are told that this is the same as 5 times the matrix of A, 2, 4, 3, 0, like that. This 5 to multiply this. Therefore, this 5 would multiply each and every element in that particular matrix. So we are going to have 5 times 2, which is 10, 5 times 4, which is 20, 5 times 3, which is 15, and 5 times 0, which is 0. So when you are given a constant here, multiplying a matrix, that constant will multiply each and every element in that particular matrix. You can be told, given that B is equals to 3, negative 4, negative 3, 3, negative 4, negative 3, and maybe 4. Now you are asked, find negative 5B. Is going to be the same. Negative 5 into bracket 3, negative 4, negative 3, 4, which will give you what? Negative 15. Negative and negative will be positive 20. Negative and negative will be positive 15. And this one negative 20. That is the solution. This negative multiplies each and every element in that particular matrix. Then Having looked at that, we can go ahead now and do multiplying two matrices. How do we multiply two matrices? This is a very crucial point as far as matrices is concerned. This concept of multiplying matrices, if it is well understood, then the topic itself is going to be very simple, because most of these particular problems are going to be on multiplication of two or more matrices. So how do we multiply matrices? I want to be as simple and actually uh, as as more understanding, and actually to simplify this as much as possible. So if, for example, you have two matrices A, B, C, and D, and you have another one E, F, G, and H, and you are multiplying these two matrices here, how do you do it? This is how we do it. The first row of the first matrix, this row, will start by multiplying the first column, whereby this first element here will multiply this, and this one will multiply this. So this is the same as A multiplies E, so we are going to have AE plus B multiplies G, so we have plus BG, so that we can have that element there. So the first row will multiply like that. Then after doing that, we go to this first row, and then it should multiply the second column here. So we are going to have A times F, which is going to be AF, B times H, which is the same as plus BH. And now the first row of the first matrix has multiplied the two columns of the second matrix. Then we come now to the second row. The second row, the first will multiply the first element in the first column, this one to multiply this. So it is going to be the first here multiplies the topmost, the second multiplies the second. So it's going to be CE plus DG. Then this will multiply this, so it's going to be C times F, which is CF, plus D times H, which is actually given by DH. This is actually H, like that. And that is going to be the answer. Let us put now the figures. If you have negative 3, 4, 0, 2, multiplying 3, 1, 1, 2. How do we do that? We multiply the first row to multiply the two columns, the second row also to do the same. So it's going to be like this. This negative 3 will multiply this 3 to have negative 9, plus this 4 will multiply this 1 to have 4 times 1, which is 4. Then we go to the second row. This negative 3 will multiply 1 to have negative 3, plus this 4 will multiply this 1 to have 4 times 2, which is 8. Then we come to this second row. This one will multiply the topmost, this second will multiply this one. So it's going to be 0 times 3, which is 0, plus 2 times 1, which is 2. And then this one to multiply this one to multiply this. So it's going to be 0 times 1, which is 0, plus 2 times 2, which is actually 4, like that. And now our final answer will be negative 9 plus 4 is going to be negative 7. This one is going to be 5. This one is going to be 2. And this one is going to be 4. And that is the solution to that multiplication. So the first row will multiply the two columns. The first element here multiplies the top. The second multiplies the one that is below. The first one multiplies the top. The second one multiplies as you add them. It is actually the product of the first and the top plus the product of the second and the one that is bottom. You add them so that you can have the element that is going to sit here in the answer matrix. So as we are going to do more examples in this particular topic, I want you to note this so that it can be so easy for you in the subsequent topics, subsequent subtopics. Thank you very much.